What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso, and welcome back to another video here today on the channel. In this one, we're going to be talking about the future. Call of Duty World War II is not officially confirmed, but we have every reason to look at and say, you know what, that's quite possible that it could be coming. And while we really don't have too much information to confirm it other than the images that we've seen so far, from what we've seen, none of it's been able to be debunked. So it's quite possible that World War II is in fact going to be the case. So that said, I want to take a look at 5 rifles that, if it is in fact Call of Duty World War II, 5 rifles that will pretty much be surefire shoo-ins for being guaranteed in the game. But just to reiterate and just to make sure this is all speculation, all theory, and what I believe will definitely be coming to Call of Duty World War II if it is in fact such. So, if you guys have any rifles that you think will be coming in World War II, feel free to drop them down there in the comment section down below if they are not a part of this list. Of course, there's a ton that could definitely be viable options, but these are my personal preferences for what I think will be 5 guaranteed. But let's start it off with number 1, that being the M1A1 carbine, or in some cases, the M1 carbine. That was one of the most iconic weapons of World War II, and thus has a very special place in the heart of the weaponry that we may end up seeing as a result. Most recently seen in Call of Duty World at War as a full weapon, it was also seen in Black Ops as a part of the Resurrection map pack with the Zombies mode, but as itself, it is a crazy good weapon. While taking 3 to 4 shots depending on the range and the multiplier due to body locations, it sure felt a lot quicker than 4 shots at times because of the fire rate and the ease of use. The recoil was almost non-existent and made for an incredibly lethal weapon as a result. Overall, it was a ton of fun. A lot of players definitely seemed to enjoy it, and it was something that I think really just solidified itself as a World War II weapon, and it was one of those more standout weapons that you'd want to use back in the day. Additionally, for those of you guys that remember how fast you could fire this thing, man, that got to be so much fun. Kind of irritating if you were on the receiving end, but if you were using it, you could definitely tear some people up. Number 2 up on this list, though they're in no particular order, the M1 Garand. It's a fan favorite that has many practical uses tied to the time period, last seen in, well, actually this year as a classic weapon in Infinite Warfare, as well as seen in Black Ops 3 as the MX Garand, but other than that, it was last seen in Sledgehammer's last outing as a Call of Duty developer as a weapon in Advanced Warfare. Maybe future-proof, hinting towards World War II return in their next title? Probably not, in all honesty, but it's cool to think about. While we've seen it recently in the Call of Duty universe, it was a staple back in the day, having been in Call of Duty United Offensive, Finest Hour, COD 2, Big Red 1, COD 3, Roads to Victory, World at War, and even Black Ops. So it seems like it's a no-brainer that we'll see this one definitely returning in Call of Duty with a World War II setting. But as for properties-wise and the weapon overall, depending on the games, it really is a crossover in how they perform, but it usually leaves it at around a 3-shot kill to the upper chest and a 4-shot to the extremities, while all having a low to medium recoil rate. So one thing that I would be wondering if this does return is how they'd tackle the reloads, because in recent years you've needed to fire off every single round within the clip of the M1 before reloading, while traditional titles like World at War allowed you to reload with some shots still in the end block clips. But all in all, I think this one will definitely be returning. But number 3, another surefire and fan favorite that I think will be returning is the STG-44. While not entirely the most powerful weapon for the games like World at War, where it is specific to the time period, there is still a lot of fun to be had with it. Once again, spanning across various titles, the weapon was last seen as DLC in Advanced Warfare. Now seriously, like, maybe this is some real deliberation on the weapon choices, but again, in all actuality, being a slower firing automatic rifle, it's rather easy to control, giving it a low to medium recoil rating, but also having the ability to get the job done. Becoming a 4-shot at the best in some games containing it, it might not be your first choice, but it's certainly one of those ones that many have come to know and love and certainly associate with the era of World War II. It's fun to use and certainly does change it up from the traditional weapons that we really see in the rifle category that kind of all blend together if you're not really a gun expert or really don't have too much knowledge. If you were to just take a look at some of these weapons, some of them might look very similar to you. This one's kind of a standout to it, and therefore I think it's definitely going to be something we'll be seeing, not only just because it is a standout, but also because it's a fan favorite and overall pretty awesome weapon. Number 4, jumping up on this list now and jumping over to a slightly different category, that being bolt action rifles. We're going to be taking a look at the Springfield here within this one, because again, I think this is one that will definitely be returning as the theme of this video, seen all the way spanning across Call of Duty United Offensive, Finest Hour, COD 2, Big Red 1, COD 3, Roads to Victory, and finally World at War being the last one that we saw it in. This is one of the ones that is a standard rifle. Scoped makes it a pretty awesome sniper rifle, but all in all, it's definitely a weapon that is very specific to the World War II period and does quite a bit of damage for what it is known for. Doing 2 shots in multiplayer with no scope on it, but also 70 hit points in multiplayer if you have a scope on it. It can do 1 shot, but the recoil on this thing is rather insane, especially with that scope on it. So it's something that is still a fan favorite, a very base and reliable weapon, but might not be the very first choice once you unlock a lot of things after it. But all in all, it's definitely one that I think will be returning. Now, the final one here up on this list is going to be the Kar 98K. Once again, another bolt-action rifle, primarily known for a lot of uses within the sniping category, but also possible to be used without a scope as well. This thing spans quite a few games, along with the Springfield as well, being Call of Duty United Offensive, Finest Hour, COD 2, Big Red 1, COD 3, Roads to Victory, World at War, and additionally, it was actually in Black Ops as well. Only available, though, on Nocturne, Toten, Verrucht, and Derice within the Resurrection DLC, but this thing is, once again, a very standard weapon to the time period, and one that is rather known amongst COD fans, and therefore I think is definitely going to be a shoo-in additionally as well. Once again, doing quite a bit of damage unscoped, but also scoped even more so. It's one you might have been familiar with back in the day if you have been around that long, and nonetheless is a classic weapon in the regards of Call of Duty weaponry, and therefore I think will be a nice choice to see returning. But all in all, that is my list of 5 rifles that I believe are going to be in Call of Duty World War II, assuming that Call of Duty 2017 is in fact called World War II, as we saw with some promotional images already being leaked out. Those have not been debunked, so it's a decent little theory that this is going to be the upcoming title, but nothing is set in stone at the moment. But I thought it'd be cool to take a look at and see what weapons we could see returning if that were in fact the case. But if you guys have any weapons you'd like to add to this list, feel free to drop them down there in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything we have here regarding Call of Duty World War II, which may very well be Call of Duty 2017, Modern Warfare Mastered, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, and all that good stuff in between. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected with me here outside of YouTube. I practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. But thank you dudes so much for watching. That's going to wrap it up. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. I'll see you guys later. My name's been Nikolai Espresso. Take care and peace.